Man, what's up, people? I didn't really want to bring this Xhaka thing back up again, but apparently the club has made a statement. Every YouTuber and website has read the statements, so I'm not going to bore you with those details. I just want to give you my opinion on this whole thing. Now look, to me, this seems like the club has taken charge of the situation and they've decided to deflect it on the fans. I'm not a fan of that at all. Let's get this perspective right, yeah? Let's stop deflecting and blaming the fans for everything. Let's put this out there straight away. The fans did nothing wrong in regards to what happened on that day. If Xhaka, when he was substituted, hurried up off the field and clapped his hands in support, none of this would have started. None of this. But his attitude and all of this, what's been going on, blew the whole thing up. And this so-called apology was not a Xhaka statement, it was a team statement. We've waited 4 days for this. Normally in these circumstances, the player comes out on his own social media platform a day or 2 days after and makes a statement. That's not what's happened here. And the team has come out and made this statement. Yeah, I didn't really see an apology in there. What I saw was someone who was explaining the events of what happened to abuse, which these players are abused all the time. Some of them have gone off social media because they can't deal with it, and they shouldn't. Yeah, you should not be at any point abusing these players, but that happens every day on Twitter. It's a platform which is unsolicited and it's full of abuse. And if you didn't know that now, then you're never going to. It's just a platform that spreads hate. That's what it does. Sure, it does great things. Twitter's amazing for bringing people together, honest people with honest opinions and fair opinions. But listen, Twitter also brings in the dregs. It brings in the dregs, it brings in the scum of the universe, and most importantly, some of these people with duplicate accounts, they're not even fans of the team. And that's for any team. I know a lot of Arsenal fans that go on Spurs forums and Spurs fans that go on Arsenal forums, and they do it just to take the piss out of the fan base and just to cause up and stir trouble. Let's not be naive to that situation. These things happen. And the one thing that disappointed me is this. And this isn't, I am in no way condoning the behavior of the people who abuse Xhaka. You should not be doing that. And I hope that these people have their accounts scrapped and binned. It's another thing that Twitter's not really doing well. But you shouldn't be doing that. No man on this planet talking about breaking a man's legs and attacking his family and any of that, that's not football. That's nothing to do with football. That's just someone abusing another human being. It's got nothing to do with the 60,000 fan base that are at the Emirates or all those people that support the club in good faith. And for the club to throw those supporters underneath the bus, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be talking about, yeah, the events of what happened that day and the accountability from the captain to play a role in what happened on that day. Now, this doesn't sound right to me, the fact that all of these, and I'm not saying this is an excuse, but all of these comments have come out after the event. If he was being abused in the way that he said he is, this should have been reported before these events. I mean, you know, we know that he's received flack. A lot of our players do. But if it's affected him on a psychological level, then maybe this should have been brought up to the front office long before this. Because bringing it up now makes it seem like, it just seems like they're diverting away and just pushing everything on the fans to say, look, you guys abused him, that's what made him carry on the way he did, it's your fault, and now we're going to look after our player. And sorry, that's not going to wash with me. That's not going to wash with me. There are players among players who have come out after this and said, yeah, I've been abused, I've been booed, but they have in no way retaliated in this way. Because there's a certain level of professionalism that you have as a captain and a player. And if, as I said before, if this abuse was that bad, it should have been brought to light long before this. And if he was suffering psychologically, he shouldn't have been on the field. Why would you put somebody on the field who's been psychologically abused and their family's been abused? Why would you do that? You just wouldn't do it. You would protect. Look at what's happened with Klasnac and Ozil when they were attacked with all this Turkish gang-related issues that's been going on. They took them out of the team. They didn't even want to put them in harm's way. There was all this social media stuff going on with the event that happened with that attack, and they took them out of the limelight. So if this was the case with Ozil, why did you put him on the field? You've only got yourself to blame, and you're not blaming yourself. You're not taking the responsibility as a team. You're just trying to deflect it on the fans. It's the fans' fault. The fans did this, the fans did that. The fans are on social media talking about his family. You know, regardless of what happens, if he steps foot on the field and he's captain, that ain't gonna work for me. That ain't gonna work. Because first of all, if he is that brittle and he's been that battered, he shouldn't be on the field. That's one. Two, there's normally a cool-off period when all these things happen where you take the player out of the firing line. Yeah? And he hasn't been playing well. That should be the main reason why you drop him. But this, as a whole, would hit home the fact that you need to take him out of harm's way. But for you to put him on the field in the next game, as captain, you can't be serious that all these things are affecting him and that's what's going on. Because if it was, you wouldn't do that to the player. You wouldn't do that to the player if you're trying to protect him and trying to protect his family. So, guys, you know, I'm a realist. I'm not as cynical as a lot of people can be. But for me, this just stinks of deflection and misdirection. That's what it, and the thing is, it always rolls down to the fans. It's always the fans' fault. We always take the crap end of the stick. And I'm sorry, in this situation, it could have been well avoided had the professionals been professionals in their role and their jobs. To say, as I said before, the fans didn't boo, the fans were jeering him. Yeah, they were jeering him off the field because he weren't moving fast enough. And it got ugly because of Xhaka, not because of the fans. So I'm sorry, I'm sticking up for the fans on this one. I won't accept it. I won't accept that it's the fans' fault in all of this. Sorry, ain't gonna do it. Yeah, and let's hope that he is gonna be on the bench, and let's hope that he's out of the firing line. And if he is being abused, and if it is by a section of fans, they find these fans and they deal with them, delete their Twitter accounts. If they get more information on these fans, then the club seeks to stop them from coming into the ground and let them deal with that accordingly. 99% of the fan base are not abusive, and that goes for every team. It goes for every team. So to put us in that light, I don't accept it. Speak to you later, guys. Peace out. Right back at you.